There are people who feel more, who perceive things sooner, who suffer in silence. It is not an exaggeration. It is not drama. It is spiritual sensitivity. Those who were born with a mission feel the world differently. And along with this gift comes a silent pain. The pain of rejection that has no explanation, that hurts even when you did nothing. The chosen one is light, but not everyone can handle being close to the light when they are trapped in their own shadow. And that is where the cycle begins, which only those with awakened souls understand. You try to help, love, get closer, and even so you are pushed away. Not for who you are, but for what you represent spiritually. Have you ever experienced this? Were you fine with someone and then suddenly the person disappeared? Did you try to show love, only to be rejected? Did you share something genuine and were met with disdain? It seems like your existence bothers others, even when you are silent. This is not a punishment. It is a sign that your presence activates something deeper in others. The truth is that the chosen have a different frequency, and this frequency generates discomfort in those who still live on autopilot, in lies, or in escape. It is not your fault. It is not personal. It is spiritual. And the more you shine, the more you will be tested by rejection. But each pain brings with it an awakening. If you have ever felt rejected without understanding why, this video is for you. Here, we will talk about the 9 rejections that only the chosen know. And when you understand each of them, you will realize that none of these pains were in vain. Each one was shaping you, preparing you, and revealing who you really are. Now, before continuing, I want to sincerely ask you one thing. Don't follow this channel just out of courtesy or curiosity. Follow it if it makes sense to you, if this message has found you at the right moment. This channel is not for crowds, it is for awakened souls. If you felt something inside here, then stay. This is your place. 1. Silent rejection, distance without reason. Have you ever had someone who was present every day and then, out of nowhere, disappeared? Without a fight, without explanation, without any visible reason. The person simply stopped responding, stopped caring, stopped showing up. This is confusing, and for the chosen ones, this is one of the most painful rejections, because there is no closure, only a difficult to understand void. The first reaction is almost always guilt. You start mentally reviewing every conversation, every gesture, trying to find the mistake. But there was no mistake. What happened was spiritual. Those who are chosen carry a strong presence, a clear energy that activates discomfort in those who are still not ready to deal with their own internal mess. Your presence bothers not because of actions or words, but because of what you transmit without realizing it. Your clarity, your peace, and your truth stir up the emotional field of those who are still living in escape. And when these people encounter this, they prefer to distance themselves. Not out of malice, but because they do not know how to cope. The chosen one needs to understand that this is part of the journey. Not everyone can walk alongside those who carry truth. Some feel threatened, others feel exposed, and many simply do not know how to explain what they feel. They only know that they need to leave. Silence is the only response they can give. Even though it hurts, this distance is a sign. Your light is active. Your energy is fulfilling a purpose, even if you don't see it. Those who did not stay were not ready. Those who disappeared may come back one day more awakened, and those who are truly yours will remain, even feeling the impact of your presence. Chosen one, do not beg anyone to stay. Do not diminish yourself to be accepted. This silent rejection is proof that you are on the right path. Keep being light, even if it bothers others. Spiritual distances are not personal rejections. They are divine filters. And those who need to be with you will be able to sustain your light. 2. Unrequited love. You love, the other flees. The chosen one tends to love differently. They love with surrender, with intention, with truth. They do not love out of neediness or self-interest. They love with presence. And precisely because of this, many times, this love is not reciprocated. The other distances themselves, flees or cools off. And the pain this causes is great because the love was sincere. This type of rejection is confusing. You give of yourself, respect, and care. You offer a type of love that does not demand, but embraces. Even so, the response is silence, indifference, or distance. It is not fair, but it happens. And for the chosen one, this type of rejection wounds deeply because it comes when the intention was pure. Many people do not know how to receive true love. They are accustomed to relationships based on control, emotional games, and hidden expectations. When they encounter someone who loves without manipulation, they are startled. The love of the chosen one breaks patterns. It disarms defenses. And this is too uncomfortable for those who still live in emotional protection to sustain. The other's fleeing is not a lack of feeling. Often, it is fear. Fear of being seen. Fear of opening up. Fear of accepting a love that requires real presence. The love of the chosen one is intense. It is profound. And only those who are ready to look at themselves with truth can receive it without resistance. This pain, even though it is strong, is also a lesson. It teaches the chosen one to love with awareness, to give without losing themselves, to understand that not everyone who crosses their path is ready for what they carry in their heart, and that this should not diminish their capacity to love. Loving is not the mistake. The mistake would be to shut down. Being chosen is continuing to love even after the pain. With wisdom, with boundaries, with clarity. The love you offer is rare, and one day it will be recognized by someone who will not flee, because they will see that what frightens others is exactly what they were looking for. Do not stop loving. Just understand where to plant that love. 3. Being avoided for being who you are. The chosen one often notices that they are being avoided, even without having done anything. People change their tone, avert their gaze, or simply distance themselves. This hurts because the rejection is not for what you do, but for who you are. Your presence carries something that provokes intense reactions, even if you do not understand the reason. What happens is that your essence exposes truths. You do not need to say anything. Just being there reveals what the other tries to hide. Your energy awakens feelings that were dormant. And when someone is not ready to face themselves, they prefer to distance themselves from those who mirror that truth. This rejection is difficult because it seems unfair. You are being yourself, without malice, without intending to provoke. Yet you still cause discomfort in certain people. It is not your choice. It is a natural consequence of your vibration. The chosen one carries light, and light always reveals shadows, even when no one wants to see them. You can be kind, polite, discreet, and still be avoided. This happens because your vibration does not fit in environments that still operate on superficiality. Your presence awakens awareness, and awareness disturbs those who are trying to hide from themselves. It is not personal, it is spiritual. It is energetic. You are made to reveal, and being avoided is part of that revelation. When you disturb, you stir things up. Even if the other person distances themselves, something within them has already been touched. Perhaps they cannot explain it, but the presence of the chosen one leaves a mark. A reminder that something true passed through there. This rejection is not a sign that you need to change. It is a sign that your energy is functioning. You were called to awaken consciousness, not to please. Keep being who you are, even when that causes distancing. The right soul will recognize your truth, and that connection will not flee. Being avoided hurts, but it will never be worse than hiding from yourself. 4. Loneliness in the midst of a crowd. You may be surrounded by people, participate in conversations, smile in photos, and still feel a deep emptiness inside. The loneliness of the chosen one is not due to a lack of people. It is due to a lack of true connection. And this is one of the most silent rejections that exist, because it happens even when everything seems normal on the outside. The chosen one seeks depth. They are not satisfied with shallow conversations, forced interactions, or facade relationships. They want soul, truth, real presence. And when they do not find that, they feel out of place. It is as if they are speaking a language that no one understands. This disconnection is a form of rejection that only those with spiritual sensitivity truly understand. Being in crowded environments and feeling alone is exhausting. It is a fatigue that is not physical, but emotional. You realize that even when surrounded, you are alone in your thoughts, intentions, and values. This hurts because it reveals that your soul is on a different rhythm, searching for something that most are still not willing to offer. This type of loneliness is not new. Many chosen ones have felt this since childhood. They have always perceived the world differently. They have always felt that they did not completely belong to the groups, the ideas, the conversations. Over time, this becomes a silent wound, the feeling of being invisible even while present. You are not alone by chance. You are being guided to environments and people who will truly see who you are. Loneliness is temporary, but what it builds inside you is eternal. Do not give up for not feeling understood. Your frequency is being adjusted for connections that truly make sense. Loneliness hurts, but it also reveals how alive and aware your soul is. 5. Being misunderstood. You help and are misperceived. Few things hurt as much as being misunderstood when your intention was to help. The chosen one carries empathy, feels the pain of others, and therefore often anticipates extending a helping hand. They see beyond words, perceiving what lies behind gestures. But even so, they are frequently misunderstood. You try to advise, support, and show a way. You speak with love, you speak with clarity. But those who listen interpret it as criticism, judgment, or intrusion. And what was meant to heal becomes a reason for distancing. This wounds, because you know there was no malice. There was only care, concern, and a sincere desire to see the other well. The problem is that not everyone is ready to receive true help. Many listen from their own wounds. And when you touch on something sensitive, even with good intentions, the pain speaks louder. The person shuts down, accuses you, distances themselves, and you are left with the feeling that you erred in trying to love. This rejection is common among the chosen, because they feel more, see more, and want everyone to awaken. But the awakening process is individual, and those still trapped in pride or fear may reject any attempt at deeper connection, even when that attempt comes with love and truth. Being misunderstood leaves marks. After several experiences like this, the chosen one starts to become silent. They begin to hold back what they see, what they feel, what they know. But this hurts them inside, because the spiritual mission involves serving, and serving requires the courage to continue being light, even when others close their eyes. This pain is real, but it is also a training. It teaches the chosen one to have wisdom in timing, in words, in giving. Not every truth needs to be spoken at the moment. Not every piece of advice will be well received. What matters is to maintain purity in the heart. A clear intention always finds its way. Those who are ready to listen will listen. Those who are not will resist. But one day, the seed you planted with love may flourish, even if you do not see it. Keep being true. Keep serving with awareness. Being misunderstood hurts, but it is not a reason to be quiet forever. Speak with wisdom, but do not dim the light you came to ignite. 6. Not being taken seriously. Underestimated wisdom. You speak with conviction, sharing something deep, true, lived. But people laugh, doubt, or ignore. They do not take seriously what you say, even when your words come from the soul. This silent rejection hurts, because it is not just about disagreement. It feels as if your essence is devalued, even when you speak from the heart. The chosen one does not speak out of ego. They speak because they feel, because they carry internal experiences that most do not understand. Their wisdom does not come from books, but from spiritual processes, from pains that awakened them, from silent learnings. And for this reason, they are often underestimated by those who still measure a person's worth by appearance, status, or titles. This rejection leaves marks. You feel that you need to explain yourself all the time, that you need to prove something, that your intuition needs validation. But the soul does not work that way. And the chosen one needs to understand. It is not a lack of wisdom that the world rejects. It is an excess of depth amid superficiality. The pain of not being taken seriously can make you silent. It can make you withdraw, hide. But your mission is not to silence yourself to be accepted. It is to continue being a channel, even when no one understands. Because the truth does not need to be accepted immediately to be real. It remains alive, even in silence. Many of the things you feel, see, and say today will only be understood later on. Your role is to plant. It is to bring light. Even if at first you are ignored, over time, the seed germinates, and the people who doubted you will remember your words. They will understand what they once rejected. The chosen one is always discredited before being recognized. Keep sharing, even if no one applauds. Your wisdom is a spiritual gift, and it was not given in vain. Those who have eyes to see will see. Those who do not have them will awaken one day. Those who truly need to hear you will know how to value you. 7. Being accused of being too much, intense, deep, different. The chosen one often hears that they are too much, too intense, too serious, too complicated, too deep. As if their way of feeling is a defect, as if the intensity is a burden to others. This rejection does not come from something you do wrong, but from the impact of being whole, in a world that prefers the shallow. You feel deeply, think deeply, and live with commitment. While many are concerned with appearances, you are interested in truth. This is frightening, because depth requires presence, requires reflection, and not everyone is ready to dive into themselves. So when they encounter someone authentic, they label them. They call them exaggerated just to avoid facing their own selves. Being called too much hurts because you start to question yourself. Am I exaggerating? Am I forcing it? Do I need to silence myself, adjust, hide? But this doubt is deceptive, because what they accuse you of being too much is actually your nature. It is exactly what is part of your mission. The chosen one came into the world to cause movement, to awaken consciousness, to provoke reflection. And this will never be comfortable for those who only want to maintain their comfort zone. Your intensity challenges others. Your truth disrupts internal structures. Your presence invites change. For this reason, many prefer to distance themselves, criticize, or belittle. You are not too much. The world is often too little. Keep feeling deeply. Keep living with presence. Keep speaking with truth. Being different is a sign of mission, and those on a mission did not come to conform. They came to transform. Your intensity is your strength. Never try to diminish it to be accepted. 8. Feeling that you do not belong to this world. From a very early age, the chosen one feels that they do not fit in. It is as if they live in a place they do not understand. Conversations seem empty. Customs make no sense. They observe, try to participate, but inside they feel out of place. This constant feeling of displacement is a profound and silent form of existential rejection. You look around and think, why does everything seem so superficial? While many live to repeat patterns, the chosen one questions. They seek purpose, truth, something greater. And when they do not find it, they feel isolated, as if they are in a parallel reality. It is not arrogance. It is spiritual awareness that has not yet found a compatible environment. This rejection does not come from a specific person. It comes from the life around, from the system, from the structures, from the models of success that make no sense. You try to fit in, try to follow common logic, but something inside you screams that this is not your path. And this generates pain, doubt, loneliness. The chosen one feels a longing for something they cannot name, as if they came from another place, from another dimension. And in a way they did. Their soul carries spiritual memories, wisdoms that were not learned here. This explains why many around you do not understand you. Your origin is not common. This feeling of not belonging is also a preparation. It did not come to punish you. It came to remind you that you were set apart, shaped, called to something greater. The mission of the chosen one is not to fit into the world. It is to elevate it. But before that, they need to learn to live with this difference. Accepting this rejection as part of the process is liberating. You do not need to force a connection where there is none. What you feel is real, and there are others like you, scattered, awakening, feeling the same. When they meet, something ignites. It is as if the heart finally breathes relief and says, now it makes sense. You are not lost. You are in transition. The world your soul is seeking is still being built, and you are part of that construction. Keep walking with truth. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a compass. One day, you will find your people. And until then, know this. The universe knows exactly where it planted you. Your soul is not wrong. It is just ahead of its time. 9. Being tested by God with silence. There are moments when the chosen one prays, seeks, serves, does everything with their heart. And even so, they feel no response. It is as if heaven has gone silent. The silence of God is one of the most painful rejections that the chosen can face. Not because God has rejected them, but because He is teaching something greater. This silence is not punishment. It is training. The chosen one needs to learn to trust even when they do not feel. To maintain faith even without confirmation. God becomes silent to strengthen the spirit, to deepen the roots of the soul. Those called to greater missions go through periods when heaven seems distant, but it never is. The feeling is one of abandonment. You ask yourself if you are being heard, if you did something wrong, if your prayer was ignored. But this type of spiritual rejection is not an absence of love. It is a presence of purpose. God withdraws so that you can go deeper, so that you discover a strength you have not yet accessed. Silence reveals where your true motivations lie. Do you continue to seek even when you do not receive? Do you continue to pray even without answers? This apparent rejection exposes your essence. It shows whether you love God for what He does or for who He is. Silence purifies the spiritual relationship. The chosen one, at some point, will be tested with silence. And this test is not to bring them down. It is to strengthen them. The roots that grow in the desert are the ones that sustain the great tree later. And you, even without realizing it, are being prepared to endure and support something greater than you imagined. The absence of signs is not an absence of care. It is like a father who watches from afar while the child takes their first steps. If God seems silent, perhaps He is trusting that you are ready to walk more firmly. And this is honor, not rejection. It is spiritual maturity. Keep going, even without feeling, even without hearing, even without signs. The silence of God is not the end. It is the beginning of something new. Those who go through this valley come out transformed. The faith that is born in silence is the one that moves mountains, and the chosen need this faith. If God is silent, it is because He is working silently within you. You have also learned that even the silence of God can be a felt form of rejection. But it is in these moments that the spiritual root deepens, that faith is purified, that the chosen one strengthens to live what only they were called to fulfill. These pains are part of the training of your soul. What seems like rejection is actually separation. God is removing from your path what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. He is filtering the environments, connections, and bonds that do not support your mission. It is protection, even when it seems like loss. It is alignment, even when it seems like abandonment. Continue in the process. Do not try to fit into places that your soul has already outgrown. Do not hide your light to be accepted. Do not diminish your intensity to avoid bothering others. You were not made to please. You were made to awaken. And awakening always causes discomfort before generating transformation. Now I want to hear you. Comment below. Which of these rejections have you felt the most in your life? Share with sincerity. Your pain, your experience, your story can heal, liberate, and strengthen another soul going through exactly what you have faced. Here, no one is alone. Here, we are all awakening together.